All right. It's all happening. I think we should be live. So can you just let me know in the chat right now if you can hear us here? Just let us know. Type a yes. I see Angela's here. I see Melvin's here. All right. So let's see. We got Logan, Lisa. Hello, everybody. It's good to have you here. Really excited. Mathilde
Hi, everyone.
is with us. Mathilde leads the community here at Circle, and really excited about this. It's the day one event of this summit, and we've been working on this for months. So really excited that we're gonna get to have 3 straight days of events happening here. So I'm gonna dive into things pretty quickly because you know what? We got a whole lot to cover in a little bit of time, and so uh, look, I'm just going to get right into it and start this presentation. Real quick though, I do want to set some ground rules here, just so that y'all know. First of all, I'm going to talk really quickly. This is going to take about an hour, and we're going to move through things very quickly as well. Now, can you just let me know kind of where you're calling in from here? So I see. Oh man, I see the chat is going really quickly. So Annette and Keisha and Kat and Daphne. Okay.
Pretty international.
Catherine. Very cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so let's dive into it. So this event here, there's going to be 2 every single day. This is kind of the opening event. And this is day 1. So we're calling this the 5-part framework for finally creating your own community on Circle. Now, you'll notice there's going to be many of you that don't like that little left-hand sidebar there where you can see all the slides. I know it's not professional and all of that. And oh my goodness, the chat is going bonkers right now. But you know what? It's actually the only way I can do this on the live stream. So we're gonna deal with it. But this is called the 5-part framework for finally creating your own community. Or how to create an experience for your members that you can be proud of based on real life examples from Circle's most successful communities. So this workshop is going to be perfect for you. Oh, let me just kind of, here we go. Okay, so if you're like me, like I show up to these events and the first thing I'm wondering is like, should I spend my time here, right? So this workshop is going to be perfect for you if you're considering, creating some type of membership community, online course community, podcast, newsletter, blog, or if you have like a club or association, you want to build a community around it. If you're like having this one-to-many relationship with people and maybe like they read your stuff or they watch your stuff and you want to connect them with each other, this is going to be really useful for you. If you have a product, right? Even like Circle, we have a product and you want to create a community for your customers. This will be a great workshop for you. And, there's just so many use cases out there and we'll talk about a whole lot of them, but real quick, the first thing I just want to highlight here is that a lot of people, they have all these different, words they use to describe community and all these different definitions. Mathilde, I know if anybody knows that, it's you. And so I do just want to define it today, right? So today on this webinar, we're thinking of community. When we say that, what we're saying is like, it's like an online home where you bring your people together to connect with each other around some common purpose. Okay. So it's where you bring people together to connect with each other around some common purpose. Now, let me know in the chat real quick. Are you considering creating a community for yourself or for your customers or around a new kind of idea you're exploring? If so, can you just share with me the type of community that you're thinking about building and who it serves? Just let me know in the chat right now. And in the meantime, Mathilde, I know that you see so many different examples of people building communities every day. And I have to introduce Mathilde because she runs our entire customer community. And so I'm looking in the chat here and I see the digital project manager. They already have a Circle community. Oh my goodness, I can't even read this stuff back. So we have a community for subscribers, dogs design, UX designers. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm just picking them out. Let's see, a newsletter community, guitar learning, super cool. So anyway, let's dive into it. So let me know in the chat as well. If not, why not? Like if you're hesitant around a community, just like let me know. But here's the thing, right? So my big promise to you today and Mathilde's big promise to you today is that in the next 60 minutes, you're going to walk away with a very simple 5-step framework that you can use to launch your own community. Okay. And so of course, the next question is, well, how are we actually going to get that done? right? And so this is our agenda for today. So we're going to cover this 5-part framework that you can use to create a valuable community. We'll go pretty deep into it, right? Now, I'm also going to show you a peek behind the curtains of many of the most successful communities on Circle. I'm going to show you the 5 different types of communities that you can create, and we'll help you kind of identify which one might be right for you. And then this is a lot of folks' favorite part. We're going to walk through 16 proven ideas that you can use to create a truly valuable community that keeps your members active, coming back and participating and engaged. So really excited to go through that. And then finally, we're going to talk about how to keep your community sustainable for you to run, right? So that it's fun and satisfying instead of stressful and time consuming. And then we're going to do live Q&A. I got a whole bunch of big announcements for you guys too, kind of towards the end. 30 seconds about me real quick before we dive in. So I'm one of the co-founders here at Circle. Behind the scenes, we power 3,000 of the most well-known communities online, just a ton of them from all different backgrounds, all different sizes and shapes. Formerly worked at a company called Teachable, where we served a lot of creators there too. I'm a big fan of Teachable. Mathilde, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. And thank you, Andy, for this great introduction. Like you said, I'm in the lucky position of running the Circle community. So we have about 3,000 creators, community builders, who are building community in about every niche and every vertical you can think of. So the way we come together is we do weekly events where people can come together, learn from experts. We run office hours where we brainstorm solutions to people's challenges live. And then we have our own discussion spaces around the arts and science of community building. So it's pretty fun. It's definitely loads happening in there. And so a lot of the examples that we are going to share today, like you said, Andy, are coming from that community and the creators who are making waves in there. So really excited to be here and excited for the summit.
Awesome. Love it. And by the way, if you're watching right now, you might want to take some notes, right? So we're going to cover a whole lot, but what we're also going to do is if you post a picture of your notes at the end of this event, we're going to make some other announcements and stuff like that. We're going to send you something pretty cool. We'll actually shoot you a DM over on Twitter, and we'll give you a little gift over there. So take some notes, share them at the end, and we'll send you a gift. Now, we have over 3,000 active communities on Circle, which gives us a little bit of an unfair advantage here. Now, the learnings we're sharing during the summit, they're based on the data, right? So what's interesting is that, one thing we've noticed is like, even though the communities on Circle are so diverse and there's so many different types, it's interesting because what we find is that most of the communities that are doing pretty well, they do follow this kind of 5-step framework that we're covering today. And so what I want to do is just go straight into it, right? Rather than kind of like going through each one by one, we'll go deep on all 5. I really do want to just walk through them right here up front. So let's do it, right? So here's the 5 simple phases here, right? So the first is you got to nail the purpose of your community and who you serve. I'm going to show you some real examples here just so that we can kind of like just make this stuff real, right? Next step is going to be to find community market fit. So we have a process for this, really, because like you want to give your members a community experience that over delivers. It's invaluable for them. Like when they come to your community, you want to feel confident that whatever you're getting from them, you're giving them 10 times more, right? So we'll talk about how to find that community market fit as well. Step 3 is about implementing systems to make running your community sustainable for you. So we'll talk about that as well. Step 4 is about how to create a home for your community so that, you can set up an experience that you're proud of, and how to use the tech to do it. And then step number 5 is launching your community, everybody's favorite part, how to go out and find your initial founding members and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what we're doing here. So let's get into it. Now, what kind of communities run on Circle, right? And the answer is, of course, all shapes and sizes, but let's think beyond Circle for a minute. Let's just think about communities in general, right? So what I'm talking about here are membership communities, course communities, coaching communities, product communities, brands and startups. And if you have a podcast with listeners or, readers for your newsletter, like letting them connect with each other. There's so many different types of communities. And so as you go through this, you should be thinking through like what is my version of this look like? And can you just let me know in the chat, are there any of these specifics here that we're looking at that resonate with you? Which one kind of checks your boxes, or is it some kind of mashup of a couple of these? Just let us know in the chat, and Mathilde, take a look. Now, all of the most successful communities on Circle they really just do a great job up front of getting two things right, right? So they define the purpose of the community and who it serves. And so I'm going to show you some examples here. And I want you, as I kind of walk you through these examples, because these are some of the best communities out there. It's the ones that I'm like a huge fan of. Which one of these, like, what are the purpose? Who does it serve? Let's review that, and then you'll get a better sense of how it works. And in 5 minutes after we're done with this, we're going to do a fun little 30-second exercise where you can kind of think about what this might be for you. So let me know. Let's see. We have brands and startups, course and coaching, podcasts and memberships, a lot of memberships, professional communities. Cool. Awesome. Okay. So a lot of reasons to start your community, right? But one of the best reasons is because it can be a huge differentiator for you. Okay. So as we go through here, one of my favorite examples, I'm going to pull Self-Made up. I'm going to pull some of these other ones, but like Self-Made. So this is a community from Britt Morin, and it's amazing how much they care about their members. It's such a great community. So this is a high-end boot camp essentially for women who are entrepreneurs, and they're starting a new business, right? Or maybe they're like growing their current business. There's a lot of like business courses out there. There's a lot of business like boot camps and things like that. But the folks in this one, they rave about it. And so they use community as a huge differentiator, right? So they're able to like use community to get their students better results and to get their members access to, cool resources and things like that. Here, the people are just as important as the actual content itself. Right. And so their purpose for creating a community alongside of a course is to get their clients and their students better results. Right. And when you get better results, you're differentiating from everything else out there. And they're very clear on who they serve. So like they serve women who are current and aspiring entrepreneurs. Right. Very clear. This is one of my favorite examples as well. And I'm going to pull this up. So the MakerPad community. So it almost feels like a forum. It's very much like a lot of posts and replies and comments. I'm going to show you inside some of these communities in a moment, but it's amazing. So, there's a lot of content out there where you can learn things like, so this is for no code, right? You can learn no code. You can learn how to code. You can do whatever you want. But here, they made it all about people connecting with each other, learning together, sharing ideas, getting feedback, reviewing tools. It's very much like all intertwined, right? And so MakerPad became the absolute best community and gathering place for people with no code. And the thing is that they've benefited from it, right? So now they became the source of truth. So I want you to think like, what would happen if you, for whatever your situation is, maybe you're a coach or a podcaster or teaching or whatever it is, what would that mean for you if you became the source of truth? Because, for MakerPad, what happened is now all the opportunities come to them. So like they were just acquired by Zapier because Zapier wanted to have access to this community of like really passionate no coders, right? They were the best community online for the space. They are able to launch online courses now. They have a paid membership experience. They do all this kind of stuff because they're the community and they're very clear on who they serve. Individuals trying to learn no code. Now, another thing that's really cool is that you can get big outcomes for you and your members with a small, valuable community of 50 members or 100 members or 150 members, right? So let's talk about this for a minute. One of my absolute favorite examples here, and Mathilde is very familiar with this example. She knows Megan and Mike well, but the Fresh Exchange community. So Megan and Mike, they are amazing. They have a private paid community with 150 people. And this community, it's made up of gardeners. They live seasonally, right? So they learn how to garden and eat and do all that kind of stuff, right? And now, rather than me just like reading blog posts or listening to podcasts, instead, I'm like talking to real people. Like they created this community. They have 100 people in there. They get paid every month, but then they connect everybody with each other, right? So instead of me doing all the work and creating all the content, now I'm more just like the facilitator. I'm helping get like the most out of my members. I'm helping them reach their goals. So the purpose for this community is they share their insights, their learnings, their successes, their failures. They have this premium experience. It's differentiated as well, right? And they serve people who are learning how to garden with the seasons, right? Probably like beginners and intermediates who are getting started and really want some extra help as they go, but very clear. And so, think about it here. Like they launched in April. That's only a few months ago, right? And so their current community, they keep it capped at, I think it's 100 members per season. They might charge $50 per season. But it's a really cool business. And it's super valuable for them. You could see what they said here. So they said, we launched our community this week. We spent nearly a month building it out with all the help from this community here. They're talking about the Circle community. And now our community is launched and thriving. It's small with just 100 members, but people are interacting and talking. It's so exciting to see all the hard work in motion, right? So you can do this, get big outcomes for you and your members with 100 members, right? And now finally here, your community, like it can be the business. So it can open up a whole new revenue stream for your business. It can be the whole business itself. It's funny. This is actually what we do at Circle. We have our own community to help our customers, right? And so people don't pay for access to the community, but we help them get better results because they have access to the community. So it's good for our business, even though it's not a direct revenue stream. And one of my favorite examples here is Josh Hall. So Josh is a web designer, and Josh has 80 people, maybe 100 people in his community. I think it's $99 a month, right? And so Josh is a web designer, but he's also a coach. And Josh, he might have done a lot of one-on-one coaching, and he has courses and things like that. But what Josh created was, in his words, a safe place to connect, learn, and grow as a professional web designer. In my words, he created a coaching group on steroids. So this is super cool, right? Because if you're doing one-to-one coaching, that's one thing. But imagine if you can offer your coaching, but then also let your clients and the people you're trying to help interact with each other and build each other up and give each other feedback and all of that. It's such a differentiated experience. It's like a very community-first approach to a coaching experience, but this is just a membership community. That's what it is. It's a membership experience, right? And so Josh, he has a very clear purpose for why he's doing it, to scale, to get people better results, but also he knows exactly who he's serving: professional web designers who want to hone their craft, right? So are you following me here? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you're with me here. And this is starting to kind of like make sense and come together, because I know community, the idea of it's a really big concept, but I want to hone in here. And by the way, here's the numbers, right? Like if you have 100 people coming in and it's $99 a month, like Josh, I can tell you his members get such a huge benefit compared to the $99 a month that they spend. But, at the end of the day, that's a real living for Josh. It's a big part of his revenue and income stream, right? So worth noting, this is a really cool model. And then finally, one of my favorite examples, then I want to pull up some examples of these communities in real time, is Nest Labs. So Anne-Laure Lecomte from Nest Labs. Awesome. So, wow, chat's going bonkers.
Everybody's following and excited. Some people are actually part of Josh's community, which is awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're members in the room.
Now, Josh is speaking tomorrow night, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So, Anne-Laure Lecomte, one last example here before I show some real examples of communities. And I'm going to pull them up on the screen. So Anne-Laure, if I have some podcasters and some bloggers here, people that are, building an audience, YouTubers. So Anne-Laure is an amazing writer. And she had built this newsletter, 20,000 people, 30,000 people. And it was a one-to-many relationship. And the people in her community are so smart and thoughtful. And like, she wanted to unlock all the value there and connect those people with each other. So she started her own paid community. This is probably about a year ago now, or it could be a year and a half ago. But instead of having this one-to-many experience, she spun up her community. And you know what? It's like $5 or $10 a month, but there's thousands of people in there. It's a full-time living. I mean, it's really cool. And so just like another good example of this model. So most of these communities they fall into one of these categories here. And I want you to think like which one might mine fall into, right? So they're an open community where everybody's invited and it's free. There's private application or invite only communities, paid membership communities, hybrid communities, product driven communities, so many different options. And so I want to like look at these out in the wild and just kind of show you what this can be. So let me just pull it up here. Okay.
As you do this, I just want to say we have some great questions in the chat, so we're saving them all for the end for Q&A. In case we don't have time to answer all of them, because there are many, we'll post them alongside the replay, and we'll also continue the conversation in the Circle community for those of you who are part of it or will become part of it afterwards. Oh, here it is.
Absolutely.
The devil.
Okay. So you should be looking at my screen now. But as an example, here's the Nest Labs community, right? This is one of my favorite communities. This is the Pat Flynn community. So this is actually their website here, right? But when I click over to go to the community, you can see they have a really great sales page here. It's for business owners, right? So think about it. Who do you serve? Who's it for? They're very clear here. And we're going to talk a lot more about Pat's community soon. But you can see, like, this is what their community looks like here, right? So you can see everything they have. They have a book club in here. They say who it's for, who it's not for. They have these monthly challenges that they do. They have private messaging and group chats between all their members. There's so much that they give their folks, right? You can see everything here on the right-hand side. They have deals and discounts and all of that, workshops, and there's just so much. And you don't have to do all this stuff. You can just do a little bit of it. But this is what these communities can look like. And then when you get in there, it kind of looks like this, right? And they just added a whole bunch of new folks, I guess, yesterday, which is pretty cool. And you can see people having discussions and all of that. And, you know, it's really what you want it to be, right? There's no perfect community. It's what do you want it to be? What's your vision? This is one of my favorites. This is Monica Lent. She has a community for developers who blog, very specific. And you can come here, you can see how beautifully she's designed her sales page, right? You can see kind of what her community looks like when you get inside of it, what's included in your membership. They do accountability groups and expert AMAs. They have so many different things here. Feedback groups, they have online workshops and member deals, right? And then when you get in, it looks like this, pretty cool, right? Here's Josh's community that we just talked about. He has a nice sales page. He explains everything you get. If you want to know like how to deliver value to your folks, you come here to some of these sales pages. You can see like, here are some ideas for how I can deliver more value, right? And then when you get into the community, here's Josh's community, right? So it's $99 a month. It's a monthly membership. Really cool, right? And so everybody gets to connect with each other and you know, definitely worth taking a look at. So this is
We lost Andy, I think. He warned me earlier that his laptop was kind of overheating. So I'm just going to take a moment to look in the chat as he joins us back and see if I can answer some of your questions whilst we're waiting for him to come back. Oh, here we go. There we go. I was going to take some questions from the chat, but I see like you solved the problem, which is good. Welcome back.
Well, are we live again? We should be live, right?
We're still live, yeah. It's still going.
Okay, good.
It was the suspense, you know, like you disappeared before you could share more.
Yeah, that was bonkers. Okay, so let me just go back to my screen here. And we should be back. All right, Colin says I'm back. Okay, so we're good to go. Okay, so we've seen some communities out in the wild. Now, here's what I want us to do. So first, can you just let me know here, right? Let me know in the chat. This is the exercise I want to do. Who will your community serve? And try and be specific. And then say, you know, my community will be paid. It'll be maybe part open, part private. It'll be a hybrid. It'll be invite only. People will apply. Like, just let me know, like, what are you thinking here? Try and get a little specific. So my community will serve the who, right? And then kind of what's the purpose behind it? And I just want to, you know, check in here and I'm going to watch the chat for a moment. And for folks asking, you know, how are we streaming right now? This is actually just Vimeo. So we haven't announced it like all formally yet, but we will be rolling out our own live video experiences like literally in a couple of weeks. So it just wasn't in time. We really wanted to keep this event on track. Okay, so I'm seeing Kimmy, customers that have bought our products, Wendy Parr, artists and creatives, hybrid, part open, part paid. Awesome. Gabby, educational consultants. Okay, this is moving really quickly. Martha says women of color. Oh, it just went away. Sierra says my community serve Black women who want to have a position in God Center. Awesome. Megan, Jeremy. Okay, there's a lot coming in here, so it's actually too hard to keep up with, but this is amazing. Let's keep it going here. So at this point, you don't have to nail it, but you should have an idea of who you're going to serve and the purpose of your community. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to find your community market fit, right? So you should be thinking about how you can deliver a community that's really valuable for your folks. And I'll tell you, I've done more than 1,000 one-on-one demo calls this year. The number one question that folks ask by far is, what can I do to reduce risk and give myself the best chance to succeed? And so really, if you look at like all the most successful communities, they really all start the same way, right? So what they do is they carve out time. They write down all the ways that they can deliver value. And this is before they even set up a community online or deal with any tech. Like they'll literally pull out a pad like this, right? And so you'll start there. And one thing I want you to keep in mind is that I'm going to give you 16 practical ideas to do this right now, right? I'm going to give you 16 practical ideas to make your community really valuable. And I want you to keep two things in mind here. So the first is that you'll notice most of these ideas, they're about creating belonging and bringing people together, right? Now, the second thing is you only need to find a couple of these that are right for you. And so, Mathilde, you call this your signature gatherings, right? You want to just like spend 20 seconds explaining what that means?
Yeah, that's right. So signature gathering is basically your ritual or your community gathering that will really help your members get to know each other, but it will also help them derive value from your community. Because, communities have tons of rituals, tons of events. You've seen the landing pages that Andy showed before, right? There's tons of ways that you can deliver value to your members in an online community. But your signature gathering is really this thing that people expect, like a signature dish at a restaurant, right? You know it's coming, it's going to be good, so you want to make space for it. And so in the Circle community, right, we have tons of events, we have workshops, we have trainings, we have tutorials, but we really have that one event, that one gathering called Show and Tell that really gets people together every week at the same time. And that's really centered around, discovering new and interesting ways to build community on Circle. But I think that's not why people love that event. People love that event. It's because they get to have, candid conversations with other creators who are building community. They get to see what they're doing, what works, what doesn't. They learn from from the successes and failures as well, right? So, so whenever folks come to office hours or they're like, where should I start? I have so many ideas and my mind is buzzing. I always tell them, find your signature gathering, find the one thing, the one ritual that will really just get your members together and help, create that community culture.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's really, and then sometimes if you just like nail that one thing, that's really all you need to deliver on. You don't have to do 10 different things, right? And I see Nina says she loves the show and tells. They're excellent. But yeah.
It's awesome to see a lot of Show and Tell regulars in the chat as well. So hi everyone.
Awesome. But yeah, so as we go through these slides, keep in mind the folks that you want to serve in your community and how these ideas might be applicable to them. But I'm going to run through this real quick because we got 16 ideas to cover and I want to cover them fast. So the first thing you're going to do, and we're going to start with the basics here. You'll probably have a space in your community for people to introduce themselves, say hi, get to know each other when they first come in. Straightforward. Now, I'm going to challenge you to really elevate how you do this and think outside the box. So first of all, you might want to come up with your own ideal introduction structure. You can use video, have people take videos of themselves, ask them some fun questions, have some different prompts, make sure your members get at least a couple of quick responses. You can even make the intro for your members, which is what I really love. Like if I run the community and then I introduce a new member, it's just such a way to make them feel valued, right? Now, Idea number two, you're probably going to want some open area just for like free flowing discussions, interactions, banter, that kind of stuff, right? So you'll have that. Almost all these communities have that. Now, one thing you might want to do is host some type of like expert Q&As or sessions where you bring in an expert to teach something to your members, right? So you host it, the community, your members, they can ask this expert, right? And that's really valuable for folks. Like imagine in Josh's community where he's got web designers and stuff, and then he brings in an expert to kind of like pull back the curtains. Like that's valuable for his folks. Now, you can do this. You could do it weekly. You could do it monthly. It could be video. It can be text-based. If you just want to do it over text, that's valuable too. But you can kind of level this up where what you can also do is you can bring your community into it from the earliest days. So you can have them vote on the topic that you want somebody to come and talk about. You can have them vote on the speakers that you're going to reach out to, make them part of the process. Heck, you want to go a step further. You can be kind of like the Jimmy Fallon. You can see like the GIFs we got. This is the most important part of the presentation. But be the host. Bring in your own community members to be the experts and teach. This is the real version of community, right? Where it's like you're making them the heroes. Okay, so that's idea number 4. Now, have a book club for your members, right? Just one idea, one example, but a lot of our community started doing this. Actually, the Pat Flynn SPI Pro community started doing this and it went well. And so a lot of other communities started doing the same thing, but this is something that you can do. Meet up once a week, once a month, whatever it is. And the book can be all around that specific topic. If it's a gardening community, all about gardening. Exclusive deals and discounts. So this one is really common and for a good reason, right? Imagine you have a membership community and my membership community is $100 a month, or maybe it's $100 a year or $1,000 a year, whatever it is. But imagine that it's $100 a month or $100 a year, and you give me all these valuable deals and discounts that are worth thousands of dollars. Like then the community just pays for itself right away. It just makes it such a no-brainer. So see what you can do to connect your people with a lot of value like this, right? Just one idea. Okay, so this is one of my favorites and probably one of the best actual uses of these communities. So give your members an opportunity to get feedback on projects and work and different ideas they're doing, right? So one of my favorite examples would be there's a writing community that's great. And they share written work in there. They get honest feedback on their work from all the other members, right? So it's such a valuable place to be when I can get feedback as part of the community, right? If I was an artist, I want to get feedback on my work. If I was learning how to garden, and I could post pictures of my gardening and everybody can kind of give me feedback on how to improve it or just even highlight it and kind of like share the wins. That would be really valuable, right? Another thing you can do, let your members self-organize into their own interest groups. So you can do this with a lot of community tools. Like with Circle, you just let your members, spin up their own groups in private areas and all that kind of stuff, right? So really cool. And by the way, you can also let your members vote on what these groups should be. And then you can create them for them, right? If you want more control. But just another idea here. Another thing. So weekly or monthly hot seats, right? So this is so cool. Almost like a mastermind is what a lot of people would call it. But so let's pretend for a minute that I had a gardening community and I'm part of that gardening community. The way the hot seats work, and you can do these every week, you do them monthly. But let's say that I'm trying, like you basically solve one person's problem. So maybe it's 6 people, 8 people live on a call. I show up and everybody there tries to solve this one problem that I bring to the table. We spend 30 minutes. It's like, hey, I can't figure out, I have a small lawn. I'm trying to figure out how to get a big, beautiful garden back there in a small amount of space. I know you guys have done this before. We're all going to show up for 30 minutes and you're going to solve my problem this week because I'm on the hot seat. So valuable. And you can do this with any topic. It could be writing, it could be coaching, whatever it is. But set this up. And this is like really, it's goes further than just giving value to people. There's real connection. There's vulnerability. There's problem solving, right? Access to exclusive video and content. And just like we have a video library in our own community where we bring in all these experts, we post the workshop recordings and all that kind of stuff. We kind of like Matilda was talking about, you can host that in a lot of community tools that are out there, right? And so you're starting to have a bunch of ways and ideas for people to start to get value from your community and connect with each other, right? I hope some of these are starting to resonate. And as you go through here, what I want you to do is harken back to what Mathilde was saying, right? So even though there's a lot of options, what you really want to do is identify your signature gathering or ritual, right? And so let's keep going. Let's move. There's 16 ideas, so we got to keep it going. So daily accountability groups, right? One of my favorite examples would be like an endurance community, or a weight loss community, or a healthy habits community, or whatever it is. Like, let's just hop on the group chat and just like, hey, yeah, here's a picture of me at the end of my run, or hey, yep, here's what I ate today, or whatever it is. But daily accountability groups, weekly accountability groups, check-ins, really great use case, especially for coaches. Let members offer their services. So if you have talented people in your community, and a lot of times you will, especially like, let's say for a minute that I had like a writing community, let members like offer to write. We do this in our own community, by the way. We have Circle experts, and they work with a lot of our biggest, best communities. You can hire them. Like, we let that happen in our own community, right? Now, idea number 13, have a place for your members to share their wins. So for instance, let's say you have a community of freelance photographers for weddings, and let's say every time they land a new client, they do a quick video. Hey, here's how I landed my new client for my community here, right? Here's how I landed a new client for my business, whatever it is. But then walk through it, share it with the rest of the group, like give, be generous. Idea number 14, have smaller private groups with coaches, with mentors. So you might have the bigger, broader community, but then let people have these smaller private groups where you connect them with a mentor or a coach, right? Have a place for people to ask questions and get answers from the broader community. Or heck, have a place where people can ask you questions. You answer it. If, let's say, you're kind of like the thought leader in the group, you can answer those questions, but answer them publicly so that everybody else can see the responses. And then you know what? They show up in the search, so later people can go and view them, right? So there's a lot you can do, right? You can host all sorts of content, newsletters, and more like content-driven stuff alongside the community. But at the end of the day, it's really worth repeating that when you want to create a community that's worth going to, and I know you can, this is what you do. You carve out 30 to 60 minutes, you write down all the ways that you can deliver value. And this is how you're going to set up your spaces inside the Circle community, right? So remember those sales pages we just looked at? That's a great little hack. Go there and see how those successful communities have communicated the value that they're delivering, inside, and see like what might be applicable to your specific use case, right? That purpose you talked about earlier, the who that we talked about earlier. And I want you to remember, connect with your members in the way that's most natural for you and for your type of community. And you don't need to be perfect. This is going to evolve and change over time, right? So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to check it on the chat for a minute here, but I want you to take a screenshot of this slide right here, right? Because you're going to come back to it later. This is all the ideas we just talked about, even a couple more. And just take a screenshot here. Okay, so I'm going to wait for 5 seconds. Mathilde, you don't have to take a screenshot. You came up with most of these ideas. But take a screenshot. And now let me know in the chat, which 2 or 3 of these are you most excited about, right? Because you're not going to do all of these. You just need to do a couple of them. You need to find your signature gathering, or, whatever it is. Like, which 2 or 3 of these are you like, yeah, I can do that? Let me know in the chat. Hey, Mathilde.
Hey.
What's your second favorite signature gathering for our community after the show and tells?
So that's a good question. There's just so many, but I would say for our own community, or what I see in other communities?
For our own community.
Yeah, so something much simpler than a show and tell than an event. That's the second type of ritual that you can run, is a bit of a prompts that you share with your members, right? So every Friday, I ask folks in the community to share a win. It can be, a small win, something they've experienced in their community with their members. It can be a big win, like a big milestone they've reached. And it's such a nice way to, to end the week, because we always surface awesome moments and successes from folks who are building the community. So share a win is another thing. It's asynchronous. People can, they can respond with video, they can respond with text if they want to. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, it's nice to end the week on a high note, surfacing all those wins from members.
I see a lot of people saying that. I see Adela says daily accountability and book club. Kip says hot seats. Lisa says I do Win Wednesday. Regina, feedback and wins. Megan, Q&A area, casual group chat rooms. Amy says Q&A, feedback on ideas. Awesome. Cool. So this is progress at this point, right? So you might have a good sense of who you want to serve and your signature rituals, how you deliver value, right? Like some of the dots, they're starting to get connected here. Let me know, like at this point, a lot of folks are wondering like, okay, that stuff makes sense, but like, how do I find my founding members, right? They have questions like, where do I send people? What tech do I use? How do I make the community sustainable for me to run? They're still trying to connect dots, right? And so I want to start connecting more of those dots for you. So let's talk about the step 3 here, right? So step 3 is really just all about implementing systems and making, running your community more sustainable for you. So what I want to do is I want to kind of like guide you through this real quick and just give you a little bit of a quick win. A lot of people, they get to this point and they're like, oh my goodness, my mind's going 100 miles an hour. And they have doubts, right? So like one of these doubts might be, Andy, I'm worried that my community will take too much work and time. I'm just one person. Or what if I create my community and it's a ghost town? Or what if I have to come up with all the ideas myself and it's just like this hamster wheel. What happens if I'm the only one in there who actually participates and posts? And those are actually like totally valid hesitations and concerns and like things to think through. But they're solvable. And so I want to give you something that'll work to help here. So I'm going to share with you one strategy to make everything easier, right? And so what this is you're going to set up a really simple, but like excellent high value onboarding experience for your new members, right? And so we talk about this internally as like rolling out the red carpet for your new members and giving them a nice on-ramp into the community. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to look at the onboarding for SPI Pro by Pat Flynn. So this is one of my absolute favorite communities on Circle. Pat, Jay, Matt, Jillian, Mindy, like the whole SPI team, like they're just amazing. And so what we did is we're actually bringing them in to speak and just basically teach like their whole kind of process for how they run their community. But real quick, I just want to give you a quick walkthrough showing you what this might look like here. So I'm going to pull up my screen and I'm just going to show you some simple, high level kind of onboarding here. So let me just do this. Give me one moment. All right.
In the meantime, if you have any specific questions regarding onboarding or what does it evoke when you hear member onboarding, put them in the chat because we're saving all of your questions, by the way, so we can address them as in follow-up events and discussions in the Circle community.
Absolutely. So, okay. So you should be looking at my screen and it looks like you are. So there are 3 things you need to do to have a very engaged community. The first is you need to have the right people in the room and set the right expectations. The second thing is you need to onboard them really well. And the third thing you need to do is have rituals, ongoing things that are truly valuable, right? Your signature gathering, like things like that. And so I want to show you here. So this is the SPI community, smartpassiveincome.com. If we go to their website, then it comes here to this page. This is where you come and you learn, you apply. They explain exactly who this is, like who it's for, what you get, all of that, right? So we talk about those 3 things, having the right people in the room, having a great onboarding experience, and having those rituals and signature, gatherings. Well, this makes sure you have the right people in the room when you have this type of landing page. Because if I think about it, if I get through here, I read everything, like I take it all in, and then I still go and I either buy or I apply or I sign up, whatever it is. Like I know what I'm getting into. So as a member, when I get in there, I'll know the other members too have gone through that process, and I can be more vulnerable. I can make more investment into relationships in there and connecting with others. I can just kind of know that everybody's on the same page as me. Now, what they do here is they have like an application process, and that's common, but you can also do things like just accept the payment. That's great. Just have a free community, just have people go through and answer some questions for you, or, whatever it is. But when people get in there, what they do, and they're smart, they're going to go deep into this for you in their upcoming presentation, but you get into the community and they have a really nice little start here space, right? So you can kind of see this here. It says read this first. And then if I click this, there's a nice welcome video from Pat. Is this making sense? So here's Pat. Right. And so really cool. And then, by the way, they kind of explain, what to do next. Right. And with Circle, you could actually have a huge kind of like takeover on the screen and a nice like welcome video. But then what they do, which I love, and I think all communities should do this, is they have this new member challenge. So this new member challenge is super cool, right? So think about it for a minute. Like imagine if you have a new member coming into your community, you're trying to figure out like, okay, where do I like post and share things? What do I do? What's the etiquette here? What I would recommend is just taking all of that kind of thought and ambiguity off the table for your members. Instead, I want you to just tell them, I want you to do these 5 things. Just do these 5 things. And by the way, at the end of that, we're going to give you like a cool gift or some incentive or something to kind of move them through those 5 things. Now, those 5 things should be thoughtful, right? So you kind of want to like have them maybe like go and say hello and introduce themselves and get some like instant connection in the community. Maybe you want to do things that help them better learn how to use the product, right? So you can say, hey, I want you to shoot me a private message, a DM after this is over. And when you've done that, because I'm going to add a cool badge to your profile and I'm going to send you a gift. And now what you've done is you've given them a reward, but you've also showed them, hey, like here's how group messaging works inside of the community platform, right? So there's things like this you can do. Now I want you to go and ask a question to the whole community. And then like all your other members can kind of start, getting back to them. Even if you have 10 members, right? You can create a welcome committee that makes sure that every new member gets a whole bunch of, praise and follows up with people. There's a lot of different things you can do here, but you're going to want to set up a really great kind of onboarding experience for your members, right?
We lost Andy again. But just to second what he just said, I think onboarding is interesting because it's all about kind of like guiding your members and making sure they have what they need to know, but that they also what they need to know to actually contribute to the community. But you also want them to have fun, right? It's like we talked about signature event, like signature dishes. It's like you're inviting people to your party, to a dinner. Oh, hey Andy, welcome back. Just some thoughts on my 2 cents on onboarding. So you're inviting people in and you want them to have a good time, but you also wanted them to know, what time dinner is served. And, you want to make sure they know the other guests. So think of onboarding like you would think of welcoming a guest into your home as a host of a dinner party. So if you think there's just too much out there, there's just too much for them to know, rethink this and try to just go step by step. What do they actually need to know? Who do they need to know as well to be successful in their first 7 days or whatever that is for your community?
Yeah, those first few days can really make or break it.
For sure.
But look, I want to go, we're going to go really deep with Pat. I actually have a fun announcement. So if you're a Circle customer, by the way, it's going to be like Oprah in here pretty soon because we have a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be giving away. But like, what are the things? And if you're not, I'll show you how you get this stuff. But so Pat is they're doing a whole kind of talk on Thursday. And then they also have this cool event they're doing as well. I'm going to tell you more about it though. If you want to go deep into the SPI community and how they do it, because they have, 600 or 1,000 members. It's a paid community. They run it really well. But anyway, 5 simple phases here, right? And we're already through 3. And so I want to talk about the part that we know really well, which is like creating a home for your community and setting up the tech and all of that. And so let's dive into it here, right? So what should I be thinking about, right? So you're creating a home for your community, and it is worth getting right. Like first impressions really matter, right? So you kind of want it to feel premium. You want it to be an experience that you can be proud of. And can you just let me know? So actually, I don't even have to ask this question anymore. I know there's a lot of Circle customers here now, just having been here for 40 minutes. But what I do want to mention is that, look, there's no one size fits all tool out there for your community platform. There's some tools that are great at certain things, some that are better at others. But there are plenty of tools that can work for you. And so I wouldn't get too caught up on this, right? I do have some pretty strong opinions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what I think you should consider as you're looking for your tool, right? Like, how do you make this happen? How do you make it happen quickly without having to like spend a whole bunch if you're not technical, like you really want to code, you want to do it? No, right? So let me kind of walk you through this here, right? So first of all, I want it to be my community. Like I want it to feel like my brand. So I want it to be clean, beautiful, easy for my members to navigate so that they can actually interact, right? It should be white labeled. So a lot of times, like if I have my own brand, like I don't even want people to think I'm using some other tool. I kind of just want people to think I built it in-house, maybe even, right? And so that's something that's important. Interactive live video experiences, right? So, you know, what if you want to do group coaching calls? What if you want to do some big broadcasts or, you know, have fun get-togethers and live expert workshops and trainings? So right now we're using Vimeo to do this specific summit. We almost got our live video experiences out. We were a couple of weeks away. So we're going to be doing this on Circle, but like we really do believe this is, you know, critical to have in your community platform if you want to have a lot of those signature gatherings. They don't have to be synchronous live video experiences, but a lot of times those are the most valuable like experiences. They really connect people to be there live on video. Now, you're also going to want to think through like, hey, do I want some combination of, you know, asynchronous posts and comments and replies? Do I want, you know, real-time chat and people to integrate with each other? So there are, look, every community is different, but you may have a preference and you may want to have both. The other thing is a lot of the best communities out there, you know, they're just one tier, one main offer. But sometimes you might have like cohorts in like an online course or private coaching groups or whatever it is. And so it's really nice to be able to just like spin up a private space just for like a certain group or some one-off event or something like that, right? You want it to be mobile friendly so that people can have it on the go. You want there to be analytics so you understand what's happening inside your community. You want rich member profiles because the valuable thing in these communities is the actual people in it. So they need to be able to find each other, right? You also want there to be great search so that you can go out and like, if I am in a community and somebody, like I ask a question, somebody responds to that with a really well thought out answer, which happens a lot, like that's really valuable. And I want people to be able to come and search for it later and come and get it. And so you do want to like capture the knowledge in the community as well, because then the longer things go on, the more valuable the community becomes as more people are sharing ideas, right? And then finally, and this is something that you can't get around, the tools themselves, they can be as all-in-one as you want them to be, but like they're going to need to play well with your other tools. Most of us that are here are going to be able to do a lot of things on the community platform, but at the end of the day, you're going to use some other tool and you're going to want it to work with whatever community platform you use. So what I want you to do is I want you to give yourself permission to date around. I want you to look at my GIF here of Larry David and just go out and play with a bunch of things. Like literally like press the button, spin things up, like see how you like it, because your experience is probably going to be pretty similar to your members' experiences, right? So look, we're getting here. We're kind of wrapping up. And at this point, if you're ready for step 5, I want you to just let me know in the chat here. And then in about 5 minutes, have some pretty cool announcements to make, which I think I teased out before. So let me just, actually, Matilda, how's the chat looking? I can't really see it.
It's on fire. I can barely keep up. I tried to answer a few questions, but then I remind myself it will be for the end. We have Brandon Bouchard who just dropped in saying that Circle is it's really my dream product. Thank you guys for creating this. So it means a lot to hear this from him. It's going to
So Brendan is a baller, and Brendan is going to be speaking tomorrow. I can't believe that he was so generous to speak, but he's going to be speaking tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern time, 11:00 Pacific time, and you're going to want to tune in. I'm going to send out all the replays or the reminders and things like that so you can be here. But yeah, let's dive into it. Okay, so real quick, a couple things to consider, right? So first of all, if you're like me, you just raise your hand. Like you've gotten to the point where you're like, yeah, all this sounds great. Like I'm really excited. Here's how I can deliver value. Here's who I can deliver value to. But you're like, man, now I got to go out here and I got to find real people. I got to talk to them. I got to like kind of be vulnerable. I hear you. My favorite advice would be just to lower the stakes, right? We're going to call this your founding members, and you're going to have some fun. And what you're going to do is you're not going to create a community like for your members and say, hey, here's my community and all of that. What you're going to do is you're going to take a collaborative approach. What you're going to do is you're going to create your community with your members. So like they're on your side, right? So you're just going to take them along with you. So what are founding members? So these are the folks that they are just like, they're going to make this investment with you, right? And by the way, we have 3,000 like communities. We have so many like big communities, well-known communities. Those communities too, they started with their founding members, right? So you're going to have to do this one way or the other. And these are the first 30 to 100 people that are going to set the tone for what your community is. They'll set the culture. And so this is not scalable or glamorous at all. It's actually like very much like in the weeds. It's really like talking to a lot of people. I'm going to give you like a little sneak peek at like what you might consider doing. But just so you know, I didn't want to shortchange this. So I wanted to carve out a whole hour for this. And so what I'm doing is, we're going to bring in 3 folks who have done this to spend a whole hour on it. And we're doing it tomorrow night. It's called How to Find Your First 100 Founding Members. It's with Tatiana Figueredo. So she works with a lot of our best communities, like kind of behind the scenes. So she sees a lot and she's going to share that. Then there's Nivi. And so Nivi runs an amazing community called the Soapbox Project. And what's great about it, it's actually a climate change community, an activism, community. And she really built it with her first members. And it's small. I think it's, a couple hundred members or something like that, right? And then there's Josh, who we spoke about earlier. He has, maybe 100 people in his community. It's $100 a month. It's a really tight group. And so he's going to walk through like literally, how do you get his first community member? How do you get his next 10 community members to where he is now? And so, for people who are just getting started, it'll be great. But here's the thing. It's actually just a personal process. It's driven by a lot of curiosity, and you're reaching out to people. You're being very transparent with them. So what you're going to do is you're not going to do some big community launch, and you're not going to do some fancy, like you're not going to get a whole big website or do any of that kind of stuff. You're going to stick to email. And what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to people in your network. Maybe you have an email list. Maybe you have a big blog with a whole bunch of people that read it. And that's great. But actually, you're not even going to use it yet. What you're going to do is reach out to like dozens of people or a few hundred people, get them to reply. You're going to say, hey, here's what I'm thinking about doing. Here's who it's for. Here's the value you get. You won't use this necessarily, this language, but you'll say, here's the signature gatherings that we're going to do. We're going to have this like weekly thing or whatever. And you'll start like that. And when people express interest, they'll say, awesome, cool. I'd love you to be one of the founding members. And by the way, those founding members, they're going to be free members, right? Look, you can charge them if you want, but like I would just have it be the kind of thing where you're just trying to deliver value to them and prove that you can deliver a lot of value. Because if you can deliver value to those 30 folks, then you can deliver value to 300 or 3,000 people. Right now, you're just trying to figure out, how do I make this a really great community where people connect with each other and get value, so that then I can start to, like, if I want, scale it up. Maybe you don't want to scale it up, but that's where we're starting. So look through your LinkedIn connections. Who are your podcast listeners? If you have a podcast, who's literally in your phone? Look at other, communities and forums out there that are maybe like similar, but somewhat different, right? Reach out to some people you respect, but you're going to go out there and kind of like scrape to find these initial 30 people, right? And what Matilda and I like to say is that it's kind of like starting a fire, right? So imagine you went camping and you go camping, you get out there, you're tired, but it's like the end of the day, you're gonna have a beer and go to bed soon, but you got to light this fire. And your friend forgot the matches. And so now you have these two rocks and you got to start this fire and just like rubbing them together. And it takes forever, just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and get a little spark. That's what finding your first 30 members is going to be like. It's going to be kind of slow. It might take you a month or 2 months or something like that, whatever it is. It could take you a couple of weeks if you know what you're doing. But then when you start to deliver value to those 30 people, it can really start to take off. It's almost like you get that fire started, it can grow really quickly. And soon enough, you have like a whole forest fire. That's what these communities can be like, but you need to kind of prove it out with those first 30 people. And by the way, it could be 100 people, whatever it is. But it's probably not like a couple thousand people, right? And so that's where you're going to start. We're going to go deep into this tomorrow at 6 o'clock. But I do just want to reiterate, like, this stuff takes work, but it's so worth it. The community folks that we see, it's just the most satisfying thing because it's really about the people. And so at this point, here's what I want to do. I want to check in on the chat. But at first, I want to talk about you. So real quick here, can you just let me know in the chat what's been your biggest takeaway so far so that I can get a little bit of a sense? And Mathilde, do we want to take a look and see what's coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Brandon saying that, actually reiterating that finding those 30 folks is spot on. You first, want to add value and then keep doing it. Whitney is saying that she found her founding members through Instagram DMs, which is an interesting hack. Definitely good to use your existing platforms for that. Folks have questions as well about tomorrow, but you'll cover that in a second, right? How to access the event tomorrow, when the link will be shared, etc. Founding members, build an MVP. So many takeaways people are saying. Signature events, focus on my first 30 people and add my signature afterwards. People love the onboarding IDs as well. This is definitely something that keeps coming back. Founding members are the things that resonate the most. Collaborative creation, definitely the co-creation process of building with, not for your members.
This is great. There's so much coming in, super cool. And I'm just really, really happy that people are having a lot of takeaways. I will tell you this, Mathilde. So my biggest thing, I want your takeaway to be that you can do this. So I want your takeaway to be that, like, if you want to create a community like this, this is something that is totally feasible. So Mathilde and I are very excited about this. We've put together our best deal that we've ever had for Circle. We did this for this summit, right? And so it's for attendees of this summit. It's for everybody who's here today. And what I'd love to know, is it okay if I kind of walk y'all through it, just kind of go through this thing from end to end, and then we'll get into the live Q&A and answer questions. And by the way, I will stay here for an hour and answer questions. And so will Mathilde. I'm going to wait and let me see what the chat says, and then we'll get into it. And I'll use this as an excuse to have some water.
You need to hydrate, Andy.
Yeah.
A lot of content, a lot of things that you shared. You need to make sure. People are saying, yes, please, let's go.
Perfect. Cool. So here's what our thinking was when we put this together. Because by the way, we spent months and months and months working on this. But to create a community, you really only need two things. So you need the technology, like the tools, right? And then you need a proven plan from people who have done it before. It's actually not much more complicated than that. And so what we did is we put together the deal that we would want ourselves. And so the way this works is it's the best deal we've ever offered for Circle. We launched publicly back in August of last year. So it's been 12 months. And the way it works is that we're calling this the Community Kickoff Bundle. It's not a very original name, but I think it speaks for itself. So if you're ready to create your own community for your business, this is specifically for you. It gives you everything you need, right? And we wanted to cover all of our bases here. Now, if you're already a Circle customer, I know many of you are, we're hooking you up. If you're new to Circle, this is the best deal we've ever done. So now is a great time to be here. And here's how it's going to work. So first of all, you're going to get the tech and the tools. So this is Circle's professional plan. Now, Circle, I am very biased. I believe it is the #1 community platform out there. If you are a creator or brand and you want to like foster this kind of like home that you can be proud of for your community. And so, we have many of the largest, most popular communities out there running on us, but also a lot of like the small, really high impact, really kind of like cool niche communities as well. And you can learn more about like how it works, but this is it, right? This is our professional plan. It's the most popular one. Now, that's exciting, but we also have a whole lot of cool, resources and bonuses that we put together. Christy says, yes, I'm on the professional plan. That's awesome. Whitney too. Oh, that's super cool. Well, so here's the thing with Circle, like we eat our own dog food. Mathilde, all she does is hang out in our Circle, not all she does, but hang out in our Circle community with our 3,000 members, just like trying to help them, grow their communities.
That's a favorite part of my job is to hang out with all of those creators, to be honest. I mean, it's for real. I learned tons from them. Like every show and tell, every event, I'm learning a new thing I can apply to our own community, so.
Yep. And so you're going to get access to the Circle customer community, which, by the way, is just there's a whole bunch going in there, and I'll tell you more about it. One of those things, though, is the live weekly group office hours that we have. So that's with Mathilde, and it's really cool. So you can ask your questions beforehand. You can just show up and ask your questions live. It's nice to know, like, no matter what you're trying to figure out or deal with, like at the end of the day, a couple times a week, you always just go there and like talk to a real person, right? You can hear the questions submitted by other people. And we're literally doing one, I think, Friday.
That's right. It's every Tuesday, every Friday, like you said, Andy. It's here when you need them. Mm-hmm. And so what's really cool is it's a really intimate and safe space to ask questions, but you can also, sometimes folks come in and then they share what they've built. They're like, I'm not really sure about this part of my community. What do you think? And then I give feedback, other people give feedback. It's really become this, it's not a signature event, a signature gathering, but it's become this moment in the week where folks really come to get questions answered, but also to just get reassurance from the group that they're on the right path. So it's awesome. I love those sessions.
Yep. So get access to that. You're also going to get access to these expert led live workshops that we do every single month. So we have some amazing folks kind of like doing this stuff just day in, day out. And what we do is we ask them like, hey, can we just get you to come in? I have all these questions for you. I'd love to just like ask you, how are you doing it? Like, can you just kind of present on it, right? And so we bring these folks in and we say 2 a month. A lot of times it's more than that. And so you'll have heard of a lot of these community builders, or a lot of times you won't have heard of them, but you'll be super impressed. You'll be like, wow, I didn't know that type of community was being built, and you'll learn a lot here, right? So I think this is one of the most like underrated things that we do. It's also part of the Circle community. You're going to get a complete library of all the recordings from the Circle Community Summit. Now this, Mathilde, I have been waiting to show this for a long time. So this I'm really excited about. This is something that the Smart Passive Income team has offered. Now, oh, did I drop this in wrong? Okay, so this is all wrong right here. It's not 1 hour live. This is a 2-hour live event with the Smart Passive Income team. And basically they have, I don't know, 600 or 700, paid members. They run this great operation. They're basically pulling back the curtains on how they do it all, right? And so they're going to be doing it live. It's called Open Circle. It's about how they run their paid membership on Circle. It's a boot camp. It's literally happening on Tuesday of next week, but you'll also get the recording of it. And, Pat, he's like, hey, I put together a quick video to share with everybody, since he's not going to be here today, but he's going to be here on Thursday. And so he put together a little video, and I will play it, but explaining what the Open Circle Bootcamp is and how it works. So let me just pull it up right here.
Hey, my name is Pat Flynn, host of the Smart Passive Income podcast, and I'm really excited to invite you, because you're participating in the Circle Summit, to what we call Open Circle. For a little over a year now, my team and I have built something we call SPI Pro, which is our premium membership community using the Circle platform. And it's been absolutely incredible. So incredible, actually, that a lot of other communities and Circle themselves have asked us for help and advice and for ideas on how to enhance everybody's community. So we decided to put together Open Circle to invite you to it, so you can get an insider look at a well-run, successful community. From how we built our community, to how we manage the community, to how we get people excited to engage, to communicate and participate in the events that we put on. From marketing to retention, churn, and all the things that you need to know to run a successful community. We're going to be discussing them openly inside of Open Circle. Myself, our community experience team, and several other members of Team SPI are going to be there to support you, to show you how we do what we do, so you can provide the best experience for your community. We have so much to talk about, but hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you inside our Open Circle.
All right. So so this is gonna be really cool. Like I can't believe that they offered to do that. It's something we're really excited about. Now, real quick, a couple other things you're gonna get here. So remember, we're putting together this whole big package. It's for anybody who wants to build a community. It's the tech, but also the content. And so, one thing we wanted to do is we thought like this is a pretty cool summit that we're putting on. Like maybe you might want to learn how to do something like this. So Tom, he runs our summit on the back end. He runs all the operations. He's like the mastermind behind it. He's actually offered to do this big event with with anybody here who takes advantage of this, package we're putting together. So it's going to be totally live. You'll also get the recording, but it's all like, how does he run the summit? What are like the numbers and the operations, the strategies, that kind of stuff? How do you get people to come? So I think it's going to be really cool and very generous of Tom to offer to do that. Now, gosh, I wish I could just like pull Brendan up on stage because I saw him in the chat. Man, because Brendan could sell this better than I could. But so this is Thought Leader Roadmap. I can't believe Brendan, was generous enough to offer this, but he did. And Brendan's speaking tomorrow at 2:00, so you'll want to show up for that. So Thought Leader Roadmap, it's a 4-day marketing crash course for up-and-coming creators, authors, speakers, and online course creators who want to monetize their personal brand with proven online marketing strategies. Now, just to put things in perspective here, like Brendan's been doing this stuff, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, 15 years. He's a New York Times bestselling author. He's got maybe the biggest audience I've ever seen. Like he really deeply knows this stuff. A lot of the biggest creators out there actually like look to Brendan for guidance and mentorship. Brendan has been a mentor to me and to Sid. Sid's my co-founder, and Rudy as well. So if you want access to a lot of Brendan's thinking, you'll get it in his Thought Leader Roadmap course. And you should just show up tomorrow to the live event he's doing at 2:00. But Brendan, let me know if there's anything else I should add. But excited about this. And then final.
Just saying in the chat, just want to add, sorry, Andy, it's my entire playbook for getting started earning online. So
nice.
Yeah.
Too much. Love it. And then finally, another workshop. So this is with Noelle Flowers. She actually ran the community at Teachable. She's just such a great thinker about this stuff. Like, how do you get engagement? She's also a speaker at this event. But she is going to be putting on a workshop that shows you how to take the activity happening, the ideas being shared inside of your community, and actually like use that to have this kind of like never ending stream of new content ideas that you can use for your brand to go out and attract more people, to go out and like build your audience, and to kind of like differentiate yourself. Really good if you like are building more of like a product driven community or a brand driven community. Definitely excited about this. Noelle's very much like, she was super deep on this stuff. So this will be a little bit more of like an advanced class. And then finally, everything here is self-paced, and any events that are live, they're all recorded. They're available when you need them. So here's everything you're going to get today. I'm not going to read it all off. This is a lot of stuff, and it's stuff that we actually spent 4 months thinking about. Like, what are the right notes here? Like, what are the right things that somebody needs if they're really going to like start to create a community that will align with their business, and they're not sure exactly where to go next. This is it. So here's the deal. So we're a software company, right? Like, we don't sell content. That's not the business we're in. We make the tools and the technology, and as far as we're concerned, we just want you to succeed. So we want you to become a customer of Circle, the software. And when you sign up for Circle's professional plan, we're going to give you everything in the bundle as a gift. So it'll all be complimentary. If you're already a Circle customer, we're taking care of you. We're going to be sending you an email. This is all going to be in the Circle community shortly. And this will all just kind of be part of it, right? So you get everything when you sign up for the Circle professional plan. And by the way, the way to do that is you go to circle.so/special. let me just pull it up on the screen here. Oh, there we go. Now, if you're not ready for the professional plan, so the professional plan is $79 a month. It's the most popular plan. Most of our communities are on it, probably about 70% or so. We also have a basic plan, which is $39 a month. It has, it's a little bit like more limited in terms of scope. It's a great place to start out for like a simple community though. And you'll still get all the bonuses. You'll still get everything, right? And so there's a lot here. And here's what to do next. So if you just go to circle.so/special, you're going to see the page where you can go and it lays out everything you get that we just talked about. And Brendan nailed it. There it is. And what you'll do is you'll go there and sign up. And I actually, Mathilde, maybe I'll have you pull up and pull it up in front of us in a minute so we can kind of like walk through how to go through a button you press, all that. We'll just do it real time. But one thing I want to go through, and by the way, when you sign up, let us know. I want you to type into the chat and just say, I've signed up in the chat so that we can take a look. And in the moment, you should receive access to the Circle community and all the bonuses, right? So this should happen instantly over email. Now, what we've done, and we always do this isn't new for the summit, is we've put together the best guarantee ever, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through, and I want you to sign up. I want you to take 30 days. I want you to go through, like, attend the office hours, right? Go through Brendan's course. Come to the live Open Circle kind of event next Tuesday. Like actually like do this stuff, use this stuff, become a member of our own Circle community. If it doesn't work for you, like if it's just not a fit for whatever reason it is, like just let us know. Like write in is support@circle.so. And what we'll do is we'll just give you a full refund, right? So, put this stuff to work, use it, set up your community. And for any reason it doesn't work, just let us know. But what I want to do is,
I want to say, Andy, a lot of folks are already signed up. They put in the chat, signed up. Brendan made a joke saying, we signed up 9 months ago, but this is a better deal. Yeah, and folks are
That's
asking
awesome.
how long they have until to sign up. So I believe it's Monday night, right? The deal at Monday at 12.
Yep. So here's the deal, and perfect kind of segue. So here's the deal. This whole offer is going to be available until Monday, except what we've decided to do is like, we really like it when people show up live to these events. Like it's like the energy, the chat, all that kind of stuff. So because you're here and you're live and you're watching right now, we actually are going to give you an extra bonus when you sign up. So this is from one of our speakers, Tatiana. Now, Tatiana, and this might be a surprise, Mathilde, I don't know if I told you about this, but Tatiana is one of our Circle experts, and she works. So when we have kind of like a lot of like bigger name community builders come in that need a little extra hand holding and things like that, I always just say, hey, here's Tatiana, and I make an introduction. Tatiana works behind the scenes with a lot of these folks. And what she offered to do was she put together a course. It's a small course kind of walking through different community business models. These are a lot of the business models that the folks she works with use. And she kind of wanted to like lay out, here are the different business models. Here are how you, like what some of the different trade-offs are, right? Here's how you might go out and find your members. Here's how you'll set this stuff up on Circle. And also like, how do you choose a model for your community that aligns with your values, like from a business perspective, right? Because there's a lot of different stuff you could do. You could have like a monthly recurring membership experience. You can have things where it's like, maybe there's a whole free part of your community. Then there's like just a small private, gated area. Like you got to think about a lot of these details and the role you want your community to play. She'll walk you through it in this course. So this is really exciting that she decided to offer this. And I wonder if Tatiana's here on the call. I think she was going to be, but you will get this if you join live while we're still talking and going through the Q&A. As long as this video is still playing, you will get this extra bonus. If you don't upgrade while we're live, you won't get this, but you will get everything else if you upgrade it by Monday.
I just want to say, just want to add my words here. Tatiana is the best community, one of the best community experts and consultants you can you can get the chance to meet. She's a Circle expert. She runs the community course on community businesses. She came in the community many times to teach us some of the things that she found work with her clients. And she's also an awesome person. So you're right, Andy. That was half a surprise. Tatiana told me she was going to give a bonus of bonus, like an extra bonus. But yeah, I just want to encourage folks to really.
Oh, you know what? I'm seeing some people saying I can't get in either. I'm clicking the link, but there's no confirmation about. Yeah. So what's going to happen is,
You want to share? Do you want me to share my screen, Andy?
Oh, so that's odd. It's maybe one of the links is wrong or something. I don't know what's going on there.
There is a get started button.
Hey, Mathilde, maybe you can just drop the link in the chat where people basically to create a new community and sign up.
So not the deal.
Sorry, don't drop in the circle.so/special. Actually, just drop in the new community link.
I just drop it in the chat. There's loads of activity. So
yep, there it is.
It's here. I'll just drop it again.
Yep.
Oops, there's so many people commenting.
Okay.
I think folks think that they have to
So you know what they need to do? You know what? Just scroll down. Oh, there it is. That's the link. Yep. So if you click that and create your community, that should work. So let's see. Hey, Mathilde, were you able to drop that link in? I can see some of it. Okay. So here's what to do. So if you go to that link that's in the chat, so app.circle.so/communities.new, then you'll go create your account. And then you can go and you can upgrade your plan right in there. Now, when you enter your credit card and you upgrade your account, then our fancy marketing automation is going to know immediately. And within, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, you should get an email with access to all of the bonuses, inviting you into the Circle community, all of that kind of stuff. And so what you'll do is if you don't receive that email within, like, let's say 30 minutes max, write in and let us know and we'll take care of you.
And just a quick clarification, those who are already on the basic plan, if they use that link, it seems like it's just, obviously it's sent to the community. So how can folks on the basic plan benefits and get all those bonuses? It will just get them in the community, is that right?
Yep. They'll get them. We're going to be adding them to the community for everybody. So if you're already a customer, you'll already get them.
All right, that was a question that kept coming back. So if you're a customer, you're just in the community already, you should see all those bonuses pop up in the next week or so. So you'll have the front row seat.
Yep, they'll be popping up over the next day or so. A lot of them are already in there. So let me just pull this up here and see. We can even pull it up right. So Mathilde, do you want to kind of share this here and share the whole flow and we'll kind of walk folks through it?
Yeah, absolutely. I can share my screen.
I'm going to put you on.
Bear with me.
Naya says, what about folks who were customers or considering joining back? You will get access to everything here. Andy says, what if we are on a demo? You will also get access. Basically, if you go in and you upgrade your account, we'll know automatically and you'll get access to the bonuses within minutes.
I'll just
Terry says, already got the email with the bonuses. Awesome. Let me just change this here. Okay. So Mathilde, I will let you share your screen.
Yeah. I'll share my screen already. I'll just wait and see if you can see. There we go. Okay, perfect. So that's the page, right, with the bonus that we shared in the chat. If you click on get started, it's not working. That's why people were getting confused. But if you just scroll to the bottom, see, here you can see all the bonuses, right? Everything you will be getting. There's a lot of content. The Get Started Now section here shows you 2 calls to action. So one where you can just sign up if you're a new customer, and one where you can just log in if you're an existing customer. Or you can just follow the link that Andy just featured on the screen here, app.circle.so/community/new. That will let you sign up and just get all the bonuses right away once you've done that.
Yeah, and so when you click that link, it's going to have you create a new trial community, is what it is, right? So everybody starts off, they create like a trial community. Then when you go in there, it'll say billing, and it'll show you your plan. You can choose whatever plan you want. The most popular plan is the professional plan, which is the middle one that you'll see. But either any of them will work, the enterprise or the basic. And then when you enter your card, you will go in and you'll click sign up, and then you'll receive an email within a couple of minutes. But yeah.
Sorry about that. This obviously logs me in because I'm already a customer. So, but if I'm not mistaken, right? People follow that flow and then they can pick their plan. That's what it's supposed to go, right? You create a community. You can, by the way, you can change all of this later at any point. So this is just like a placeholder for now. You can change your name, all of this stuff afterwards.
Exactly. Now, just to be clear, if you're already a Circle customer, you're going to see this stuff show up in the Circle community for you over the next couple of days. So if you're a Circle customer, you have to do literally nothing and you'll be good to go. Okay. So, cool. Well, let's see. No, what we're going to do, we're going to move to questions and answers. So Q&A, it can be anything. It could be about community building. It could be about Circle. It could be about this deal. It could be anything. You just let me know. And we're going to start looking at the chat. You can ask Mathilde questions as well. But yeah. So let's get into it. I'll check out the chat over here.
Good to see some folks have signed up already and things were clear enough.
Make it work. Kristen, if you are a Teachable customer, you can write in to us, and we actually have a deal that we can give you with Teachable. So, do all people get it, even previous users? Where to sign up? What if it didn't work? Okay, so if it didn't work, what you should do, that link on the screen is where you should go. So you go there, you pull that up, and then you're going to create a trial account, basically a community. It'll ask you to fill in your information. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go in there and upgrade your account. There's actually a big banner that'll come across the screen. You just press that link and go to your billing and upgrade it, right? So you'll create the trial, and then you'll immediately be upgraded, and we'll know. You'll immediately get an email, right? So you see that link there? And Kristen, you can write to support@circle.so. Lizette says, just signed up and paid for a basic plan. Exciting. Awesome. Michael, you can reach out to Circle. Very cool. Dave Jackson says, what is on schedule for tonight? Great question. So Noelle is going to be on tonight. So Noelle is the head of community, or was the head of community at Teachable. Now she works at a company called Commsor. And Noelle is going to be teaching a talk called Community Engagement, but Better. And it's really about, like, if you want to create a place where your folks interact with each other and connect with each other, and they actually like engage. And you don't want to like worry about like engagement metrics. Like, you don't want like this boring kind of like analytics talk. It's more about like, how do I actually get my folks to like make friends, feel like a sense of belonging? She's going to walk through that, right? So it's going to be about 45 minutes. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then there's a link in the summary email that went out this morning with the join link. And so you'll be able to get that. And then tomorrow at 2:00, we have Brendan delivering a keynote. That's at 2:00. Really excited about that. And, we'll be sending out a link right before that happens. And then also 6:00 tomorrow night, there's a really exciting panel. It's with 3 of our community builders. We talked about it earlier. It's all about how to get your first 100 founding members. So, okay. So I see Stephanie says signed up. Renee signed up. Hey, Renee, didn't have a place for a credit card. So you have to actually like when you go in, you'll create your trial. But then when you log in, you have to go and choose your plan and enter your credit card. So you'll go to billing, and then you'll click upgrade and enter your card. So if you didn't enter a card, you haven't signed up yet, and you won't get the bonuses yet. You have to enter your card, press sign up, and then you'll get the bonuses. Beth signed up. Awesome. Pamela, if you're already a customer, then what'll happen is that you're going to be able to log into the Circle community, and we have all the bonuses and stuff in there for you. So if you're already a customer, you literally have to do nothing. So Andy says, I upgraded, but not in that link because it was sending me to create a new one, even though I had a demo. Awesome. So Andy, if you already upgraded, you should still, even if you already had a demo, you'll still get the bonuses like instantaneously. We're tracking that on the back end. Daniel Kim says, does Circle allow us to make our own landing page? So we do not. You'll create your landing page somewhere else. Let's see. Adela says, do you have any tips for making your community safe and inclusive? Yeah. So, I mean, you could probably spend a whole hour on this, but one thing I think you can do is do a good job up front with setting expectations where you're basically going to walk people through, like, here's what to expect in the community. Here's how we do things. Here's how we don't do things. And you might have really great onboarding experiences inside your Circle community as well, right? So like you explain, this is what's cool. Here's what's allowed. Here's what's not allowed. You'll have people find friends, right? And so at some point after the culture is established, your community should self kind of police. But onboarding is important.
Just to add to that, a lot of folks add their code of conduct in their start here space or the welcoming area in the community, and they have their members literally opt in, just comment, you know, I've read this, I've accepted this. So that's just a bit of a best practice. There are others, and you'll hear some others in the panel tomorrow on founding members, perhaps. Yeah, the culture of the community and how to make it a really safe and inclusive space is something as well that we go into in detail in the Circle community itself.
Totally. By the way, I see Chris Luck here. Big fan of Chris. Good to have you, Chris. Kyle's here as well. Hey there, Kyle. Really excited to see your launch on Circle. That's pretty exciting. Harry says, already upgraded, but didn't get the bonuses yet. Harry, if you were already a customer, then you're not gonna receive an email. That'll just be added to the Circle community for you. If you just upgraded though, go check your spam or something like that. But you should get them within a couple of minutes. So I'd give it like 5 or 10 minutes. And then if you don't have them, write into our support team and we'll get them to you instantly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what else? Let's see. Hillary says, just signed up. Awesome, Hillary. Christy says, I am building my paid membership community within Circle and happy with it. Awesome. Jerome says, will it be possible to have an example of rules of conduct? Yeah, actually, I can pull up an example in a little bit. Somebody asked about live video. So we're really excited about the new live video experiences. Heck, we really wanted to run this whole summit through our new live video experiences. We were a couple of weeks away, but yeah, so we expect to roll out the live video experiences within the next few weeks. And then there's a few different parts involved, actually, a few different like versions of different features for live video. So that's going to happen, over the course of the next couple of weeks. And then over the weeks after that, we'll roll out like extra kind of like features and add-ons and things as part of it. But yeah, it's really close.
Martha is asking, do I still need to use Kajabi? And I think the answer is, it depends on what you're trying to do. But most of the things that you use Kajabi for these days, and that comes from our Circle creators, can be done in Circle. For example, if you want to set up a course in Circle, you can create, easily a space with the lessons, the content of your course in there. So it depends on what you're trying to do. That's the short answer.
Yeah, we actually so there's a lot of course platforms too. I mean, Kajabi does a lot more than just courses, but then there's like Teachable and Thinkific, and we tend to work really well with a lot of folks that use other platforms, because sometimes you want Circle for the community experience. You can do that, right? And then maybe you have a course platform that you like. Maybe you love Kajabi. You might set up Circle right alongside of it, right? So it kind of just depends what you want to do. Same thing with Teachable. Like we play really nicely with Teachable.
Mm-hmm.
We're big fans of them.
That's
and
right.
Same thing with Thinkific. So
yeah, there are folks who really literally have like the content on Teachable, and then they have the community on Circle, and we have an SSO integration that lets your members just log in really easily with the same credentials. So you can do both.
I see Naga here saying, I've signed up. Awesome, Naga, really cool. Anna says, I signed up for the beta. How do I know if I'm still in? Well, it's actually, you should get an email in the next week or two inviting you in. So we've just started bringing people in. Let's see. Gosh, there's so much chat. Okay. Sam says, does Circle have CRM capabilities like targeted email? So what we can do is send notifications and things like that. But if you want like full on email sequences and all of that kind of stuff, I would use a dedicated email service provider for that. Like I would use something like ConvertKit or something along those lines. That's like all they do. Let's see. Melinda says, I've signed up. Ian signed up. Awesome. And Terry says, got to run. See you, Terry. Okay. Let's see what else. Martha, I want to do live Q&A, community building, have master classes with experts. Can we house video content for people to watch in their own time? Yeah, absolutely. You can upload video right up into Circle really easily. So totally doable. And let's see. Can you set up a paid community in Circle? Absolutely. So we just rolled out our new paywalls features where you can charge. Pamela says, oh, Pamela signed up. Awesome to have you, Pamela. Now, just remember, everybody, so you're going to create your trial account, but if you don't go in and finish signing up, like choose the plan and then also add your credit card details, you won't have actually signed up for a paid plan yet. So you'll need to do that in order to get your email with the bonuses. So you will also get the fast action bonus if you sign up while we're live. And what you should do is make sure that you get the email. The email should literally go to you within seconds. So if it's like 3-5 minutes, something like that, and you haven't gotten it, just go in and make sure that you're signed up. Or if you are, right into our support team and we'll take care of you. Okay, Renee says, got officially signed up. Finally. Awesome, Renee, to have you. Really pumped. Let's see. Does the live video feature you're launching? So the live video feature we're launching is not with Vimeo. It's totally, we're using Vimeo at this moment. Our live video feature is all native to Circle. When you use our live video feature, you won't need anything else for video. You'll just do it all right on Circle. Harry got the bonuses. That's awesome. Let's see. With live video, would it be possible to invite people live? Yeah. So you're gonna be able to pull people up on stage. You could have 500 people live if you want. You could put people off stage. Stephanie says, yes, I am in. That is awesome. Jenny says, can you please drop the link again? So Jenny, you should be looking at my screen right now and you should see a link down there. I know it's ugly, but we had a little bit of a snafu that I think that
I've just added it back to the chat as well in case people want to click on it.
Amanda, I already have Circle, love it, but where can I ask higher level questions about funnels and customer journeys?
In the community.
Yeah, for sure.
In the community, go to Ask for Help, Amanda. We have that space just for your questions around, strategy or the more tactical questions. Sorry, but also really come to office hours. We had a few office hours regulars sharing in the chat earlier that they love those sessions, and I'm not just saying this because I just love helping people use Circle and create great communities. But it's just a safe space for you to ask questions, for you to get help, for you to get feedback. So it's happening twice a week, every Tuesday, every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and you can sign up via the community. So by the way, if you have any questions in the community or about the community, I'm always in there. Just send me a DM. I'll respond to you as quickly as I can.
Awesome. So I'm seeing... So Michael says, fully signed up and got the bonuses email. Tilo signed up. Kimmy says, I'm super excited. Just need to run it by my CEO. Awesome. Kyle says, will the native live... Oh, gosh. The chat's going fast. I lost it. Okay. Kyle says, will the native live video allow for recording and uploading to Spaces so members can watch replays? Yes, it absolutely will, Kyle. Although that could be a few weeks away. Okay. So let me look down here at the bottom. Kimmy says, what is the best resource for CSS and customizing your Circle community? I know there's some experts, but who is the best person? So, Matilda, who is the best person there? I know there's one woman. She's great.
Mary Sheffer. She's awesome.
Mary.
She's one of our top contributors in the Circle community in terms of sharing technical tips and tricks. And so she became a Circle expert. So we asked her to create a profile so she can help folks, do consultations. So I'll drop her profile in the chat for you to take a look. But if you go to Circle experts within the Circle community, you'll find her profile in there. She's awesome.
Yeah. So Brendan makes a great point. You can also embed Circle into your existing sites. Yeah, and by the way, so I know we're gonna do a whole like product demo, full hour, like deep into Circle and all the little buttons and how everything works. Build a whole community right in front of you. That's gonna be on Thursday, after the SPI Pro session. By the way, I can't reiterate this enough. Like, please come tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern time and come and watch Brendan's event. Just watch Brendan's event. If we wanted to pay Brendan to come in, we couldn't even afford him. So it's really cool that we have him coming. Like, make sure you carve out the time, because this is a kind of a special opportunity for us. So we're really excited about it. That's going to be 2 o'clock tomorrow. By the way, and then we have another event tonight with Noelle. She's amazing. She's going to walk through how to get more engagement. That's 6 o'clock. Back to questions. All right. Bet says, okay, signed up. I can't put, I'm sorry, Bets. You know what, Bets, if you email support@circle.so, we'll get this sorted for you ASAP. And yes, so, as far as, by the way, Kajabi goes, I would recommend, like, if you use something like Kajabi, I would just use Kajabi more and like make the two play nice together. These are really powerful. Like, when you start to connect Circle with another tool that you love, it's kind of like one of those like 1 + 1 = 3 situations, right? That's the whole point. Like, that's why we built Circle. Let's see. So I just missed a whole lot of questions.
Maybe a question about data ownership. Do we own the data of our community?
Yes. Yeah. You own all your data, right? We're just the tools in the background, right? So it's a premium community experience. That's all your brand. You host it. You own it. So let's see. What else do we have there? Okay. Let's see. Jim. Support email. Okay. Yeah. So the support email is support@circle.so. Martha says, just signed up with Pro. Awesome to have you, Martha. Greg, if you post, so Greg says, where do I send a picture of my notes? Great question. So we didn't get to this. I'm gonna pull this out here. We missed my opportunity to have the fun GIF, but you know, what are you gonna do? But you're gonna post those notes to Twitter, and it'll be Circle Summit with that hashtag. And then we're gonna send you a gift over DM. I'll tell you what the gift is, by the way. So we went through it really quickly, but I interviewed a guy named Corey Haynes. Corey has a community called Swipe Files, and he was able to get a few hundred paying members really fast for his community. And so I was really curious how that happened. And I reached out to Corey and I was like, hey, I have like all these questions for you, and I want to ask them to you no matter what. But would you mind if we just recorded it so that I could share it inside of the Circle community, and maybe we can like share this with all the other members? And he agreed. And so it was like an hour-long conversation, really useful. Like, it was like his exact scripts and the things he emailed people and all of that. So that's the gift we're going to give you. If you go and post a picture of your notes with the hashtag Circle Summit, we'll send you a DM with access to that. So that's what that is. Charlie says, sorry, Charlie. There's a lot of questions coming in. So I'm a paying subscriber already. Is there an audio chat feature yet? Please answer this as I be. So there's not an audio chat feature. What I can tell you, and I don't have a timeline on this though, is that something we want to do after we roll out our live video experiences is also offer the ability for you to spin up like audio rooms inside of Circle. And so that's something that we do want to do. And it will be on our roadmap at some point. Mm-hmm. David, if you are having any issues, just email support@circle.so, and we'll take care of you ASAP. Olivia, you can post the notes on Twitter using the hashtag Circle Summit. Let's see. What is your take on GDPR? Paul, I know we have documentation on our GDPR stuff. If you write into our support team, what we can do is we'll literally send you the documentation on it so that you can kind of read through it, and it goes into all the details. Jojo says, post the notes on Twitter. Totally. TKL Institute says, if we have a big community, more than 1,500, we'll be able to handle that in Circle. So TKL, absolutely. We have communities with hundreds of thousands of people. We have millions of members across Circle communities. You can easily, 1,500 is a walk in the park. Julia says, difference between basic and pro. So, and then Nat, I also see your question. I'll get to that in a minute. So the big difference between basic and pro is that, well, the pro plan is like the most popular plan. So if you go to circle.so/pricing, you can see a full breakdown. And when you go there, so the pro plan gives you things like, gives you a little bit of more customization and branding. And, oh, did we lose Mathilde?
I'm back.
Oh, okay. Was that on purpose? I thought I lost you.
No, definitely not on purpose. My laptop didn't like all the activity in the chat, perhaps, so I dropped. But here I am.
Okay, good. All right. So, but yeah, so the big difference is like the professional plan. It gives you a little bit more customization. It gives you a little bit more control over some like branding. You can customize your CSS. There's some different single sign-on integrations and stuff like that. What I would recommend is going to circle.so. I'm going to type it in here and pull it up for you guys. /pricing. Actually, I'm just going to type it into the chat. Okay. Let me see here. If my company has an enterprise account, can I still access the bonuses? Absolutely. So yeah, you can just write in. If you just write into our support team, we'll get them sent to you ASAP. Can you create email digest from Circle? Could it replace our newsletter? Yeah. So we'll go deeper into this on Thursday when we do the whole product walkthrough and all of that. But yeah, so Circle does have a weekly digest feature. So you can certainly do that and use that. And I wouldn't like probably, again, I wouldn't use Circle as like an email tool, right? I'd still want my own email service provider, but you can use it for things like email notifications, for the weekly digest feature. We have things like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think we're pretty good. So we're 45 minutes into Q&A. So I think we can probably wrap up, especially because we have this other event coming, Mathilde.
That's right. A lot of great questions, though, I want to say. Made a copy of the chat. And so as we start organizing the bonus events and hosting those in the Circle community for paying customers, we'll make sure to address, the top ones and have some good discussions around all the things that you have asking here, which unfortunately are really big topics that we cannot really address in a 30-second answer, like how do you design a great onboarding experience for the community? How do you find your founding members? We have the summit events to cover those, but then we'll also dig deeper in the community afterwards.
Oh, let me, I see some other questions coming in. So let me just answer those real quick. So let's see. Okay, so Tilo asks, can you exceed 100,000 members? Yeah, absolutely. You can just also go into your account and add on like, hey, I need another 10,000 members, press a button and you can have 10,000 more members really quickly. So if you're on the enterprise plan with 100,000 members, it grows with you as big as you want it to get. Tatiana says the Circle team has been releasing some incredible new features. It would be awesome to see how fast they work and how much they listen to your user feedback. Awesome. Thank you, Tatiana. Chris, appreciate it, brother. Oh, Paranitha, I didn't answer your question. Yeah, so you do get all the bonuses. If you're already on the enterprise plan, just write into our support team and we'll get them for you. You actually don't even need to write in, like they're already going to be added to the Circle community and you'll see them there. But yeah, you get everything. If you're already a Circle customer, you have to do nothing and you'll get access to everything. Let me see. And by the way, so the fast action bonus is available for the next minute or two while we're still live on the call. I'm just going to answer a few more questions. Mathilde, was that something you wanted to add real quick?
No, I was going to say, people are asking how do they get the bonuses if they're already a paying customer. Just go to the community on Circle and you literally see announcements from me coming in the next couple of days with, when the events are happening, how you can sign up. So in the same ways that you go in the community and you see our office hours or show and tell, you'll see the bonuses in there. Yeah, that's just what I might add. It's all happening in the community.
Yep. Totally. All right. So let's see here. Sorry, go back up. Let's see. Okay. Why do we not have a deal for the highest plan? So the enterprise plan, actually, the enterprise plan is already steeply discounted. We just don't like say it's discounted, but $200 is less than what the enterprise plan will be in the future. If you want to sign up for the enterprise plan, awesome. Anybody who's already a customer, they'll be locking in that price for life. And you don't have to worry about it, but the price will be raised actually pretty soon on that. So it's not publicly discounted, but it is less. It's about to be raised, that price. Let's see. Martha says, I can't sign up because it says I already have a Circle account. Sorry about that, Martha. If you log into your Circle account that you already have, then you can upgrade from right in there. Or if you write into our support team, they'll just get it taken care of for you and they'll help you. Dawn says, I signed up. Hurrah. Awesome, Dawn. Great to have you. Anita signed up and sent a tweet. Awesome. Is the price permanent for Pro? So currently the $79 a month price it's a discounted price. We do expect to raise that in the future. If you're a customer though, or if you sign up like today, you will be locking in that discount. Like it won't be increased. DKL says, you said live video is limited to 500 people, but we have more than 1,500 members. Yeah, so you will be able to add, go above 500 members. It'll just be that you'll do like an add-on, or you'll be on a higher plan or whatever it is, but you'll be able to go above 500. Okay. Megan says, please explain the difference between professional and enterprise. So the big difference is you get things like concierge onboarding on the enterprise plan, which is really cool. Like they'll meet with you once a week for the first 4 or 5 weeks as you're getting set up, which is really nice. Just like to check in with a dedicated customer success manager. Right. And so that's one of the big things. You get things like custom single sign-on. So if you have your own product or website or whatever, where people are creating an account and you want them to log into Circle using the account they already have with you, which is really nice for reducing friction, like that's available on the enterprise plan. And then you have like higher limits, more spaces, members, things like that. And you can see all the differences by going to circle.so/pricing. Okay, so I'm just working down the questions here. Launch for Life, I'm signed up. Awesome, really great to have you. Veronica, do you happen to know when that we should expect a Circle app for Android? So we are really prioritizing this now. We're getting these big live video features, the payments features, all that kind of stuff, trying to get it out the door. We got the payment stuff out the door. And then we're moving on to the Android ASAP. But yeah, I do hope that we are in active development on it, like in the next month or so. Let's see here. Please remind how to get the fast action bonus. Is it anything different, or does it just show up in your account? So you'll get the fast action bonus if you upgrade while we're live now before we log off here, right? That's going to be distributed in the Circle community for people who are live on this call. And it's going to be emailed as well. But it's not emailed yet, so we're doing that separately. Let's see, and that's Tatiana's. That's what this is. Let me just pull it up. It's Tatiana's course, Build a Profitable Circle Community, right? Now, what else? Let me just see here. Hollis says I'm in. Awesome, Hollis. Okay, let's see. Can we get a copy of the slides? I am going to send out a replay for this event tomorrow. And Nat says I'm on Pro at the moment, but if I sign up to Enterprise, would I get help with onboarding? And assuming so, is there a promo on the Enterprise pricing as well? So Nat, you would get onboarding. There's no promo. The price of the enterprise plan is actually going to be doubling soon. So it's already in our eyes like deeply discounted. So, but you would get concierge onboarding for sure. And Brendan says, congrats to you guys. You'll love Circle. Pumped to teach tomorrow. Again, 2:00 tomorrow for Brendan. We're going to be sending out a bunch of reminders in the morning, and then we'll send out one like 15 minutes before it starts, just as like to be extra safe. but please do show up to that. And what else? Michael says, if we upgrade to the enterprise plan after the price increase, we'll qualify for the current price. So if you upgrade to the enterprise plan before we increase the price, and by the way, I think we're increasing the price on the enterprise plan the first half of October, right? So that's a whole different thing. No matter what though, like we have a thing where we grandfather in our existing customers into current pricing. So you won't have to pay more even if we do increase the price, as long as you become a customer before that. Okay, so I think this is it. Oh no, Pamela missed growth day because of a dentist appointment. That is unlucky. Bad timing, Pamela. All right, so I think this is it. I think we're going to wrap things up here. Let me just see if there's any last questions. Will all the sessions at the summit have replays? Not just this one. So we're going to do them live. And if everything goes well, we'll try to have recordings. I can't promise because sometimes we don't get them, but I hope we do. Let's see. Michael says, I've been a customer for a while and love what you all built. Awesome. Amazing. Renee tweeted, very cool. Cool. Well, thank you so much. Again, we have another event happening. It's with Noel. It's at 6:00 Eastern time tonight. So it's like 2 hours from now. And if you want to, fit up your community and get actual engagement in it and like really create connection between, your members, highly recommend it. Noel is like a wizard at this stuff. She thinks about it a lot. So just, really hope to see you there. Mathilde, thank you for co-hosting. Anything to add before we sign off with folks?
No, I'm really excited to see a lot of those folks signing up, and I just really looking forward to seeing everyone in the Circle community on the other side, if I must say. We're not in the matrix, you're not taking any pill here, but the other side is bright. There's so much happening, and so I'll see you there.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you showing up. And we'll see you tomorrow, 2:00, big event with Brendan, and hopefully in a couple hours with Noel. So talk to you then.
Thanks, everyone. See you.